questions. I'm trying to think what I haven't gone over yet. The brine tank. We just want to keep that filled with salt. You keep it full. I just say whenever we start noticing issues like salt's not going down, or I mean it's hard to make that assumption because when it's not going to go down, you're just going to know it's not going down. So it's just asking us to service a filled brine tank full of salt is, it's a task. It's a heavy job.
How often should they come in here and check the salt level?
Well, see, we should determine that based on
the load upstairs.
Yeah, I mean,
because you're not gonna.
Once we start getting, I think, on your where y'all gonna be, pretty consistent with flow and how many people are occupying, then I think we should maybe base it on what's an average, every 3 days it's regenerating. So there, every 3 days, that's 2 bags of salt. 6 days, 4 bags of salt. So then we'd want to try to keep an eye on, I would say at least once a week. I would start once a week. If we start noticing it's going down faster than we can fill it, then we might have to come and visit it every other day. But may not have to be so frequent.
Yeah. At least once a week.
That can probably hold about, I'm trying to remember, 24 bags, something like that. All the way to the top.
What's like 32 minutes for that for air?
So there's a brine well. No, we're talking just the two.
Yeah, the
okay.
two that goes down.
So it's a brine well, so you think of a well, it goes straight down. Well, because you have that brine valve in there, it has to, keep the salt off of there. And salt is going to, you have a plate on the very bottom. And so once, the idea is to have the salt dissolve and go beneath the salt plate, and the brine well has little slits at the bottom. And then the brine valve pulling from the very bottom below the salt plate. And if we watch that type of salt, this salt's more natural. And made it more natural, it's not refined like the pellets. Pellets come a bit cleaner. These are going to be more natural as they get pulled kind of straight out of the salt mines, and they're dirtier. So with dirty salt, that's definitely preventative maintenance would be, cleaning it. Your manual will tell you probably once a year. Because what happens is all that collects at the bottom of the salt plate, ultimately kind of compromising the brine valve. And that's.
Say dirty, can we go over there and get a picture of it? I mean, it's supposed to be.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's supposed to.
So if you'd be in y'all's interest to maybe just stay on pellets, maybe turn to pellets, because I think you would notice the difference.
Yeah.
These are, they're more, what's the word, economical. They're $1 less a bag.
So pellets would be recommended. Cleaner.
I recommend for commercial accounts, big, high flow systems, large brine tank, $1 more a bag. But end result is, you're preventing the issue of having a brine valve, because it has seals in it as well. It's operated by a little a hollow ball with a seal. Whenever it hits the ball, when water is pulled out of there, the ball seals it up, and that's how it will not suck air. When you compromise that and dirt gets in there, it can't seal up. It pulls air into the system. Then you'll start having air coming through the softener.
This might just be for construction, but you said dirt.
Yeah, I mean, typically the time, the cycle for brine rinse is going to be 60 minutes, and that allows the contact time at the slow flow. There's a slow rinse as well. So it's a slow rinse, and
would that be making its way through because of this, or would that just be because it's real fine?
And that looks
Probably new construction.
Probably just new construction.
Okay.
Most definitely, but the slow rinse cycle and then followed by a fast rinse cycle it allows the tank to wash out 2 times. One time in the slow rinse, and the second time completely to get rid of any salt that might be excessive salt that might be caught in the media tank. It'll wash it out again. So
once a year. We're using
that is a preventive maintenance.
Okay.
measure, yes.
That's something you guys carry out. Can we do that in house? I mean,
Y'all can do that. Y'all can do that as well.
So once this goes empty, does it tell you in there?
I mean, that's what I recommend. So another thing is, okay, so see that's an issue right there.
Copper?
Well, no, yeah, that's a little funny, right? Maybe having that with
You
salt
got
water.
The union there with the copper.
I did not set the brine line up. I would have recommended possibly having the union on the outside. That
Just
way
for
you
easier
could
access.
have broken it and then walked away with it. Because now we can't really get that pulled away. So may just another 3/4 union.
So is it recommended? Is that how it was in the specs? Do you know?
No spec on that.
No.
Yeah, I had no idea where it was going when I came here. The line was there. Pretty thankful about that, but at the same time, just things I would have done differently.